watching WeAllBe News Radio, News Free Dixie for the 21st century. I'm Thaddeus Matthews.
We've got a lot of problems with violence amongst Memphis rap artists.
There you bringing it up. Yes, sir. I want to ask you about this. I want to ask you about...
It's money laundering.
Say it again.
It's money laundering. They're using the rap industry in Memphis as a front for money laundering. And that's why you're getting all of the violence associated with it, because the people whose money is being laundered or who are concerned with such things don't play that when somebody's funny with the money.
Right. I want to ask you about the recent Hernandez Govan getting acquitted on all charges related to the death, being a mastermind behind the death of young Dolph. What's your take on that case?
I didn't keep up with it, but I know the criminal justice system around here. It's often that you can't prove the case. And see, you get in front of a jury, and the jury has been conditioned by modern entertainment media to think that there are going to be all of these scientific tests and cold, hard analysis that are done, and the finger of justice will point in unerringly at somebody, and you can say, oh, they're guilty. And it lapses back into not all of the scientific proof, but eyewitness stuff. And when you try to put together a case and you've got amateur prosecutors doing it, it doesn't work out too well. And you get those people on the jury, they just don't buy it.
Yeah, it was interesting because I look at the case. The star witness for the prosecution is the hitman that was on that killed Dolph, and he had a drug issue. He got drug addiction issues. He got character issues to me, but he called the prosecutors ma'am and all that. He got manners, but he killed somebody at a cookie shop, and we got to take his word against this other guy. But there's circumstantial stuff. There's no text messages connecting him. He may have had something to do with it. But the burden of proof is on the state, correct? They got to make their case, right?
They have to make their case beyond a reasonable doubt, and in Tennessee, beyond a reasonable doubt and to a moral certainty. So, in matter of fact, for 30 years, the jury pattern instruction on beyond a reasonable doubt, I wrote it. So I know what it says. I think they've changed it since to ease it up a little bit, but it was pretty strict. In other words, you must be morally certain that you have gone as far as you can within the bounds of human logic, rationality, and reason to determine that there is no other reasonable explanation for what happened other than what the state says shows the guilt of the defendant. Even if you believe he's guilty, if there's anything that you can point to applying your reason and logic and dispassionate analysis to the situation, you can say, wait a minute, this other thing can happen. I believe he did it, but I can't discount this other. You're supposed to let him go. Because, I mean, as a pragmatic matter, you get situations where everybody is sure this person did it. There is a trial, maybe there's a deadlocked jury. People are mad about it, and a few months later, somebody else confesses to the crime.
Right.
And see, the other thing is the more violent the crime is, the less likely it is to be solved if there is no obvious connection between the alleged perpetrator and the victim.
Let me ask you this. Do you think it was wise for him to, after getting exonerated or acquitted, to go make the social media rounds, to threaten people on social media? This character, he's threatening people on social media less than 24 or 48 hours after he got out, got off. He's making the rounds, talking about, the story. Would you advise a client to do that, to make these rounds?
I'm not in the business of practicing law right now. My law license is in a medical disability situation.
Yes, sir.
Because about 15 years ago, I had some complications with type 2 diabetes. I'm all right now, but I don't feel like taking 16 unit hours of collegiate work a year to keep a license. And I don't feel like having all of the malpractice insurance and a secretarial staff and a law office and all of that, and have to answer to complaints because somebody doesn't like it. when I say something that offends them.
Yes,
So
sir.
yeah, no. But let's put it this way:
Mm-hmm.
I'm not giving anybody advice, but uh, a reading of American law, constitutional law would suggest that the best way to do stuff is keep your mouth shut and stop trying to talk your way out of something. You have a right to remain silent.
Mm. But
And
yeah.
if you go around running your big mouth off on social media, you're likely to get it stuffed back up your other end in a little bit because you said too much. That's
But
the
just,
point.
just
I'm not giving legal advice,
yes,
but keep
sir.
your mouth shut.
Keep your mouth shut. But it's a weird time to be alive, Judge, with the social media, not just with the rappers like Young Thug talking, but also you got the mobsters like Michael Franchese or whatever his name is, Sammy the Bull Gravano. They on social media yapping their mouth about their life. I think Al Capone and Lucky Luciano and Bugsy will be on social media if they headed back in the day. Cause everybody's talking, everybody's snitching, everybody's informing, people oversharing, including the gangsters.
Yeah, and Memphis was a retirement area for gangsters back when, the Jewish and Italian communities
Mm-hmm.
out of New York.
I know
So,
Oni Madden, he was at Hot Springs for decades. They used to run the Cotton Club. He came down to Hot Springs. That's where they caught Lucky Luciano at back in the 30s, where he was on the run.
Meyer Lansky and
Mm-hmm.
that whole bunch. So, yeah, it's interesting what Memphis represents.